Hi guys, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Welcome to my channel. As a paper crafter, sometimes I want to print some cardstock, like a thicker cardstock with a printer. Most of the printer can take up to probably 80 pounds cardstock. If you don't have idea what 80 pounds cardstock looks like, most of the copy printer paper is like 25 pounds, and then 65 pounds is pretty common. 80 pounds are most of the cardstock we're using to make our cards. 100 pounds is quite thick. So most of the printer can take probably up to 80. That's the maximum. Unless you have a professional printer. Otherwise, most of the paper will jam in the machine, and then you have to open the machine, release the paper. Kind of fun things to do. And also, if you are using the laser printer, you have to set up your printer, and then when they print, it take a longer time to process your printing images. So today I'm going to share with you guys an awesome trick. Just by using your home style printer, and then you can get this kind of result. Okay, if you ask me, is there a printer can printing up to 1/4 inch thickness cardstock? The answer is not, unless the professional printer shop, they probably have those kind of very expensive printer. They can do the job. Otherwise, for the paper over 100 pounds, there is always a challenge into printing with the regular printers. So how did I do this? I am going to share with you guys how to do it with the printer that you have at home. So there's two kind of printer on the market. One is inkjet, one is a laser. If you can afford to have a laser printer, that will be great. You don't need a colorful printer, just black and white will do the job, because we still like to be able to coloring. So paper crafting, right? So the inkjet printer is not waterproof. So that means if you, after you printing this black image and you use watercolor or use coping markers, most of the time those black outline will bleed. So for the laser printer, because they use the melting toner, so they kind of water resist. That means if you soak in the water, they will not bleed. So for this kind of technique, it really depends after you printing it, what are you going to do to color your image. If you use like a pencil crayon, that probably won't be a big problem. If you are using some kind of blending tool, just less water, it won't be a problem. But if you want to use a watercolor, you want to use alcohol markers, that will be a problem. So just be aware. If you have an inkjet printer, you can do the things I'm share with you guys, but in the next step. But just beware, if you want to coloring with a watercolor or any kind of markers or Copic markers, they will bleed. Okay, so that's start today's video. Okay, so this kind of technique basically is we are printing the print image on the 65 pounds cardstock. If your printer can handle 80 pounds cardstock, you can give a try, but I will just use a 65 pounds cardstock. So don't use it like a regular printing or copy paper. They will be too thin, because after all we want to do some coloring. So the idea is layering, using your layering to build out the thickness. So you can see this is a 65 pounds cardstock. You can see how soft it is, but I think actually it's pretty good already. But if you take a look, this one, this is 100 pounds cardstock. It is really different. See, this is a 65 and this is 100 pounds. So the idea is using the layering. The first one is a print image, and then the second layer, the third layer is the blank image. Let's see what this looks like. So this is a 65 pounds cardstock, and then I have a few plain cutting, and then I just glue them together. And then add that thickness. That's the trick. I'm going to share with you guys how to do it. So this is another one. I think I probably use maybe 6 layers. So if you want to create some kind of like a Christmas ornament, or you want to create even like a keychain, you can just seal it with a kind of resin, like a clear coat. So you can actually make this one stronger and water resist. So we are going to use, let's do this, see this. You can actually glue some magnet and then use it as a refrigerator magnet too. Okay, so we are using Cricut, or you can use a broader scan cut. I did a video explain to what's the difference between these two machines, or you can use any kind of digital die cut machine that will work just fine. And in my last video, I try to explain what's different with the Cricut and the Cricut and the broader scan and cut. So if you are interested to purchase a machine, I will highly recommend you the Cricut. Is better, is easier to get into it, and also they have a lot of video online can helping you using this design space and this wonderful machine. For the broader scan cut, I think because the broader the paper crafting is just a part of the broader company, they have a more printer, so they didn't really spend a lot of time to keep developing these machine, because they also have like a sewing machine, all other different kind of machine. But for the Cricut, they keep improving this machine, and I found that they have been doing a lot of update, so making this design space and make this machine much easier to use, more reliable. And then before, I always have a problem to the machine read those cutting line, but now they are pretty stable. So if you are interested to purchase a machine, just make sure you watch some video, do some research, and then to helping you make the decision. Okay, so that's upload or image first. I have a Mr. Dress Up here, so I'm going to click this Mr. Dress Up. And then you can see is a very large image around 10 by 20 inches. So all Local King's image is designed in 600 dpi. What's the difference between these higher dpi or lower dpi? If your image is a lower dpi, if they are small image, it's okay. But when you want to make it bigger, if your DPI is lower, usually you will lose the resolution. It's going to be poor quality. Sometimes when you upload the poor quality image to this Cricut, the program will tell you the quality of this image is very poor. It will not have a nice print out. So just pay attention to the image, the PNG file you upload to your design space. Make sure they at least they need 300 dpi to be able to work with it. So that's the first things. So you can, I love the digital crafting because you can adjust the price, bigger, smaller, it doesn't matter, and you can reflect this image. You can make it big, make it shorter, fatter. There's a lot of things you can do. So I am going to show you something here. So I'm going to just do this, and then you can see, okay, you can see this Mr. Dress Up have a little white outline around the image. So all the Local King's digital image, I already added 0.03 offset space. This offset is just a little space between this black outline and the cutting line. I found this Cricut system without this offset. When you send to the machine, it will take probably double time to cut this image. And then sometimes the machine get confused and then they won't read that sensor line. So with this offset, they speed out the cutting, and then also they read image better. So that's why I add this offset. So if you have your own PNG image, but it doesn't have this offset, later on I will create another video to show you how you can add all your own offset. So here is the offset button. You can click here and you can add that feature to any image you already have. Okay, so now I'm going to just delete this shape. Okay, so you can see my Mr. Dress Out, the height is 378. I'm going to do 375. Okay, and then I am going to Control C, Control V to duplicate few of them, because I'm going to print it, so I can print a few of them together. And then I am going to also upload his where's the center? Okay, that's center. Let's put this pumpkin custom. Oh, let's see if we get the center class upload. Oh, here. Okay, add it to the canvas. Okay, view. Okay. So same thing, like I say, or image is kind of huge, right? So you can just make it smaller. It's okay to make it smaller, but if you want to make it bigger, make sure the resolution of your PNG image is good enough. So I can just kind of put here, make sure that my clothes is fitting. I think that's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to do Control C, Control V. Okay. So I think I can add one more. Okay, and I'm going to add this yarn. Okay, I'm going to make it smaller. Oh, I'm going to remove this pumpkin. Okay, make it smaller. Oops. Okay, you're going to make it smaller, 1, and then you can rotate it, 2. Okay, I think 2 is enough. Okay, so there's a limit for the print area, print space. I think I'm pretty good. Can I add one more? Let's see if I can add one more. Okay, let's do, oops. Let's rotate it. Okay, just make sure all the image are not touched with everybody. Okay, and then we're going to select all, click group. Okay, and then click attach. Okay, I'm going to send it, make. Okay, see, all my image is inside this printing area. I can add one more here. I want to, let's add one more Mr. Dress Up. Okay, so I'm going to unattach, ungroup. Let me see if I can add squeeze one more, right? Sometimes I just like to cut a little bit extra and then save it for later. Okay, not sure it will fit, but let's see. Okay, so we're going to select all, group, attach. Good, we are good. And then going to click. Okay, so everything is inside. Here have some space. If we want to add some yarn, we can do it. So I'm going to click continue. And I'm going to send it to printer. And I'm going to send it to print. Okay, so my printer can easily handle 65 pounds cardstock, and I am going to just put this cardstock on my cutting mat. Okay, the cutting mat, make sure, try to keep your paper straight. And you can see my cutting mat, I put another piece of mat on top. I just found out that's kind of helping when they run through the machine, it cuts it easier. And make sure here have a little arrow. These arrows have to be face up. So that's in the machine for cutting. Okay, so I finished cutting, and then it's very easy when you cut on the 65 pounds cardstock. You don't have to repeat the cutting line, so you can easily cut it off like this. Okay, and then the next, okay, let's remove all the image first. Okay. So this is on the 65 pounds cardstock. And then now I'm going to put the 100 pounds cardstock, the thicker cardstock. And then because we don't have to print the image on the cardstock, we're going to just cut a few, just cut one sheet, and we're going to layering it. So let's see. And here is something else you have to do. So before we loading the paper, we have to change something. You cannot just load your paper and then ask the machine cut, because the machine will looking for that sensor line, and we don't have the sensor line, right? Because we didn't print this image. So what you're going to do is you're going to, same thing, select all item. On the top, operation, we're going to change from the print then cut to only cut. So that way, we only have this cutting without print. We're going to choose make. And then we are going to start continue. And then now you can probably choose the material to a little bit thicker setting. So that way, because the last printing image, it was printed on the 65 pounds cardstock. But now my plain cardstock is 100 pounds. So you have to changing the setting to thicker cardstock. And then we are going to run to the machine again. Okay, so I finished my cutting on the 100 pounds cardstock. Different setting, they repeat the cutting. So that's what it look like. So I'm going to just pick up those pieces. So if you print some extra, and then you can just save it for later. I usually just put in my pouch. So later on, if I need to make some quick cut, I can just use it. Okay, so here is what look like. Okay, on the printing paper, you can see the paper is very soft. It's only 65 pounds cardstock. And then on the plain cardstock, this is 100 pounds cardstock. Because we don't have a printing image, and then we don't have to worry about it, the die-cut machine can handle much easier. But if you want to printing on these printing on these 100 pounds cardstock, that will be challenge. So for the backing, it doesn't have to be white. If you have some cardstock that you have a lot, you don't use it, you can use the color one, because the purpose is for the layering. So I'm going to use one piece of my 65 with the printed image, and then I'm just layering. Usually one layer, just put the one support, 100 pound plus 65 is 65 pound. It's actually pretty heavy already, but it's totally after you. If you want to make something like this, that's like a 6 layer, okay? And but if you just want to make something like this is like 100 pounds cardstock. So it's just a great trick for you guys if you are challenging to printing your image on the thicker cardstock. I think this is an awesome trick. You can give it a try. So if you do want to make a little bit thicker pieces, so try your best to layering each layer, right? Just put the glue, but be careful when you put the glue. Don't put the glue on top of your image, because if you put any glue on top and then the glue stay there and kind of create some kind of masking, and then when you want to color, you will have some problem. So do your best and then try to layering slowly. And for me, I already tried my best, but still there is some extra space here and there. So what I do is I use this nail file, and I just use a scissor to trimming small pieces. And then these small pieces just go to some detail area. I kind of just sanding that extra racing area, so that way you can get a perfect pieces. Okay. If you like, you can use your metallic marker to color the side, anything you like. So this is my pieces, and then this clothes is I did before I didn't color it, and then I think if you can make a Christmas ornament, I think that's pretty cool. So that's how you can create you can use your printer to print kind of like a thicker cardstock without really printed. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you like this video. Digital crafting, there's still a lot to learn, one at a time. If you like to learn, I will continue to share with you guys all the awesome trick and the tip that I have learned. And then just leave me a comment. Let me know your comment, and your like is mean a lot to me. And then that way I know you are watching, and I will continue to create more video and share more ideas with you guys. So thank you for watching until the end. This is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. See you next time. Bye guys.